Check 1, 2.
I'm sitting on the side of you. Life flies by and you can't deny it's true. After she made a courtesy at the threshold, she walked up the aisle between the double lines of chairs. Opened up at an Auburn's pew. Look aside, I'm looking at you. Desire on the right is now on the left. Love was always inside of you. Love was never far from you. Such a simple soul. Simple soul.
Ticket. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Marcus in the Morning.
All my life I sat outside of you. Life ran by, I can't deny it's true. Oh, oh, oh,
Uh-oh, technical glitch. Uh-oh, there might not be a show today. I can't figure this out. Screen is black. Huh. See here. Uh-oh. Not sure what's going on. So stand by, everybody. Huh. Can anybody see my screen? Nobody can see the screen, right? I'm having a little bit of a technical problem here, so just please stand by. Please stand by. Let me see if I can correct the problem. I'm not able to correct the problem. Why can't I correct the problem? I can't seem to get the... Wow, did you see all the videos of cops? I just got attacked. I got a power surge earlier. And as I'm sorry for the problem. Right now, you can't see my screen right now. And that's a big fucking problem. You can't see my screen, right? Can anybody see my screen? You can't see what I see? Can you see my website? All you see is a black screen, right? I can see half the screen. Yeah, I know. This is not good. I don't know what just happened, but I am going to have to restart this thing. I don't. Let me see. Let me just. This might go dead for a minute, so just stand by. All right. Let me just try to reboot. All right. So I might go dead for a second. So just stand by. If it goes dead, I don't know what to do. Just hold on a second. Streaming. And I think we got it. And I think we're back. Are we back? I really apologize for the problem. Tell me what's going on here. Are we cool? So you can see the screen now? Yeah, I just rebooted. Good, we're up. Wow, it was almost no show there. Almost no show. Man, what do I got? I got a fucking show for you today, right? There's a lot of shit going on. Whoa, here we go, man. So that was a little Ghost of Brooklyn there playing for you. Let me just make sure I'm up. Everything is cool. We got 50 people watching. Thank you very much for hanging in there with me early in the morning. Good morning, Sterling Price, motherfucker in the house. Vander Lou's here. Everybody's here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining me today. So just a quick plug. I need people to hold on. I'm still not completely set up because I got crashed out. I want to make sure I got everything. I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to forget a goddamn thing. Yes, get rid of that one. This is all that, I mean, you know what happened this morning? I was just minding my own business, and all of a sudden everything just crashed, and I don't know why that happened. So enough for the explanation already. But it looks good. All right, so Mark's Conte reporting. Kindly go to PayPal, Patreon. Become a sponsor of this program. I hate to constantly advertise, but MarcusConte.com. Go over there, click around on the site, and make a contribution through the tip jar, PayPal, or Patreon. This is how we support the show. There's no money coming in. This is not corporate. If you're new to the internet or you're new to YouTube, this is not corporate sponsored. This is sponsored by viewers only, people that contribute to this show. So kindly become a Patreon if you haven't done it already. And so let's step through this. So there's a lot of shit going on. A lot of shit. I've been covering a lot of shit. I've been out there every day covering the riots in New York City, right? The New York City riots. Let's talk about it. New York City riots. Shit is getting crazy. Shit is brewing over, bubbling over, and it has been for about 3 or 4 days. Now, the theory, I'm ready to switch my theory. I have a pretty firm belief in what I'm seeing, and you may not agree with that, but that's why we come together to discuss. But what I'm starting to see is the seeds of a organic revolution. Now, a lot of people were saying that, and I'm going to try to confirm this through this lengthy live stream. A lot of people have been saying that it's a conspiracy theory, that it's big money sponsoring it. I have even said that because it looked so different. The graffiti looked different. The people, the mannerisms of the people seemed, there was something different about this kind of uprising. And as far as it having to do with a black and white issue of George Floyd, the guy who got choked out in Minneapolis, I would say that is just a catalyst for what was about to happen. This is massive. I mean, this is a massive gang of people swarming Manhattan, swarming the cities from everywhere. I showed you the clips of Washington Square Park where suddenly out of nowhere 1,500 to 2,000 young people converge on the park, give an entire speech, and you graffiti the fuck out of the place, and then they're gone. And then they suddenly appear back. It's a moving gang. Right? Now, you could say, well, they're all out-of-towners. I don't think so. What they're doing is, maybe the organizers were, but this is picking up steam. This is the swarm of bees coming together, young people coming together, saying, "I've had enough, man. This is, you know what I'm saying? We've had enough. We can't make a fucking living And you know what? We're going to start taking it from you. We're going to take it. We don't care. Fuck you. We don't care if you think it's not a black and white issue and black lives don't matter. Fuck you. We're going to loot your stores because we can. Because we should. Because corporate America has fucked us over bad. And we don't care anymore. Right? That's the theme I'm getting on the ground. Now you could say, well, oh, Conte, you're an extreme leftist and you're an extreme rightist and all that bullshit, right? But I'm giving you the facts. So let's analyze. I caught a little talk on the steps of Union Square Park yesterday. If you caught that little clip where you see the leaders of this thing, a handful of the leaders of this movement, of this protest that led a movement out of that park and were followed by 1,000 cops and ultimately accumulated 1,000 or 2,000 people as they crossed Lower Manhattan into Williamsburg, where my bicycle almost got stolen. It's getting a little crazy. They're indiscriminately ripping people off. I almost got my bike stolen. I was standing on the side with my foot, I had my back to my city bike. And I turn around and some kid's trying to jump on my bike, taking off. And I say, oh, my bike. I'll show you the video. I got the video of it. But let's just look at some of this stuff that's going on over here, right? So this is the latest. Since I've been outside. It's hard for me. I want to recap a lot of what has happened, what's transpired in New York. I'm in New York. This is a New York report. It's happening all over the country, but I want to give you the New York version of what I'm seeing on the ground. Talking to people, filming shit, looking at signs, everything. All right, so dozens of suspected looters arrested after night of mayhem in New York. This is last night. This is the fourth night in a row. I haven't seen any footage of this other than what the Post is putting up, and I certainly don't go out at night. I don't do that. It's not my lane. You guys want someone to run out into a fucking riot with a helmet on? It's not me, man. It's not what I do. That's not what I do, man. I see cops swinging sticks, and I see people bashing windows. I'm the fuck out of there, right? Because that's stupid. That's stupidity. Because you don't know. Here's the problem in a rebellion like this. You don't know. Like, I'm just a mild-mannered guy, long hair. I look like Antifa, right? And I'm filming the protest, and some cocksucker sneaks up behind me and tries to steal my bike. Now, to what degree is it going to be, oh, that guy's filming, let's firebomb him, or let's stab him in his back? You don't know to what degree it's going to go. So the best way to cover it is from a distance. I don't have a zoom at this point, but I should. And stay away from it, right? That's right now, right after the show, I'm going to go over to Soho and I'm going to see the damage. I'm going to see all the broken windows, all the windows that the Post is reporting. So dozens of suspected looters were arrested in Soho Sunday night as protests over the death of George Floyd descended into chaos. A group of 12 people were busted by cops outside of Nike Soho on Broadway. A number of high-end boutiques and even Bloomingdale's department store got looted. A man was also shot in Soho. I don't think that's related. Shortly after the shooting at the same intersection, a Post reporter witnessed the arrest of a man driving a silver Mercedes-Benz. With their guns drawn, cops commanded the man to park the car, get the fuck out right now. So they stopped somebody in a car, whoop-de-doo. A witness to some of the looting mayhem on Green Street said the suspect, this is the area I walk around in the morning all the time. I've gone up and down Soho 100 times. I know every store. That's where the Apple store is. They crashed in the Apple store windows. The suspects appear to have a system where one group would breach the stores as others lie in wait outside in getaway rides. It's very organized. Let's look at some of the Post pictures of last night. So here they come, storming through Soho. Look at the signs. Stop arrests, Black Lives Matter, Blue Ku Klux Klan, a lot of Black Lives Matter signs, Black Lives Matter, I can't breathe, right? These kids mean fucking business, man. They're all young people. They're young and they're fucking ready, right? They're ready. Right? That's what's going on here. Right? They're burning shit, and they've had enough. Right? This is you could say this is the far left. You could say it's also where the far left and the far right meet today, and these kids are fed up. And again, you steal an election from them. They were pretty much backing Sanders and his movement. You could say that it's there's no jobs. They have no food stamps. They have no money. What do you want them to do? Sit at home and mind their own fucking business? I got to take the side of the rioters on this one. I have to. At this point, I have to. I see it as almost a necessary evil. Just hold that thought. Let's look at the pictures. So here they are. Black Lives Matter. Forget about the messaging. I believe their messaging is off. I don't think it has anything to do with. I think that Black Lives Matter is a significant aspect of some people's lives. Young black people, older black people believe that blacks have been discriminated in this country, held away from opportunity. I understand that, and a lot of it is true. However, I worked in city employment, and 90% of them are black. I went to college, and you can get financial aid. Anybody could get it, but there's also systemic racism that stems out of poverty, ghetto uprising, ghetto upbringing, where you don't understand. You don't have a moral compass. You don't understand being nice to people, and you don't understand work hard and you make a living. Rather, let's steal it from somebody else, or I can't make it because of the color of my skin. I understand that sort of programming. And that's definitely in this movement with a lot of young blacks, I believe. And then there's these sympathetic whites that say, we got to support the blacks. And there is that going on. But at at the higher level, it's always oligarchy. It's always the corporations sucking the lifeblood out of the economy, causing these problems. Always, always, always. Corrupt politicians that side with corrupt bankers, that make policies that have nothing to do with people. They don't protect people. People are not. They say lock down, and people are at home starving to death. Because they don't have the basic needs. Not everybody got, unemployment. Not everybody got a stimulus check. Not everybody gets a food stamp. Not everybody gets a welfare. What are they going to do? Is the point? Is what I'm trying to say here. So Bloomingdale's got whacked. Here they are. All young people, man. There's nobody. They're not. This is a rising up of the millennials. They've had a fucking enough already. You want to say they're out of town? Yeah, from where? From in New York City? Where? From New Jersey? From upstate? So what? They're driving in and doing it, right? And there's more of it to come, right? They're picking up locals. It's a mix. It's organic. It's an organic coming together of the bees. They're coming together. They're seeing what's going on. They're bringing all their issues together. Right? They're bringing all their, I'm black, I'm this, I'm that. Right? They're coming together, and they're buzzing. Right? That's what's going on, man. So here's some more. Let's see, finish off the shots. So you see, look at this. They're ripping off a head shop. Look, they're grabbing the bongs. My brother's fucking stealing the bongs. Look at this. Oh, man, what a mess. What a mess. By the time I get there in the morning, it'll all be cleaned up. I'll head over there, but you're seeing it. I don't have to be there to see it. I believe it. I know where it is, and I'll be down there in a little while. Check it out. So, what else we got here? Yeah, I mean, you've seen in my videos. I've been on this block, right? This is Prince Street, and you see this artwork. In fact, I was sticking my own stickers on there, which I'm going to stop doing because I don't want to be associated with I don't want to be associated with this, vandalism is what it is at this point. And you can see the messaging again, blue ink. I showed you the can. I was out on the street and I found a can of blue Rust-Oleum. So it's the same people. It's not. It's the same messaging. The same crew coming in and doing it. You know what I mean? So let's continue. Let's keep going. Oh, on a good note, fuck all that for a second. Here's a lady. This lady should get 100 stars. Here is 103-year-old Massachusetts woman beats coronavirus, celebrates with a Bud Light. There she is. Granny had a Bud Light, man. Fucking come on, man. Old people got killed in this thing, man, in this coronavirus nonsense. They were throwing infected people with massive flu into the nursing homes to infect the old people. This lady survived 103. She's having a Bud Light, man. Fucking salute to you. Jenny Stenjania is treated to a cold Bud Light to celebrate her recovery from coronavirus. Good deal, man. We're loving you, man. Thank you very much for your service. Thank you very much for your age and your wisdom. So, Autopsy says, who is this? Oh, Jimmy Dore. I want to cover this for 1 second. So, Jimmy Dore, I want to get the conspiracy theories out of the way. This is Jimmy Dore saying that George Floyd died of natural causes. He's talking with Chris Hedges. Let's listen.
Along with that. So this is the medical examiner. This is in the charging complaint, and I'll read it to you. It says, the Hennepin County medical examiner conducted Mr. Floyd's autopsy. The full report is pending, but the medical examiner has made the following preliminary findings. The autopsy revealed no physical findings that support a diagnosis of traumatic asphyxia or strangulation. Mr. Floyd had underlying health conditions, including coronary artery disease and hypersensitive heart disease. The combined effects of Mr. Floyd being restrained by the police, his underlying health conditions, and any potential intoxicants in his system likely contributed to his death.
Okay, so stop right there. Jimmy Dore is pointing out the autopsy report on George Floyd. And the assumption would be that, oh, you see, he didn't die of asphyxiation. He didn't get choked out. It was all a plan. It was all a plot. But that's not actually, that's neither here nor there. And if it is a plot, it was done sloppily. But what happens generally is that what we're having is that the coroner works with the medical examiner, who works with the politicians, who works with the government. It's a cover-up, right? So everybody right now, they're not going to say, they're going to say he didn't, to protect the police. They're going to say that he died of some other related ailment, high blood pressure, hypertension, coronary artery disease. Meanwhile, he got strangled. The guy had his knee on the guy's throat for 20 minutes, for 9 minutes, 6 minutes after he was dead. So, and Jimmy talks about that. Listen.
So that's like a weird system. If it was like East Germany, and they would have the cops go out and kill someone, and then they'd have the medical examiner say, yeah, he died because he had bad heart.
Right.
That's the kind of stuff you would think would happen in East Germany or Nazi Germany. But that's the kind of stuff that's happening right here in Minneapolis and in the Midwest. Like, they have this system set up where they have this corrupt medical examiner, and so no matter what the cop does, it's never going to be because the guy choked him, literally strangled him for 9 minutes. 3 minutes after he had already died. He strangled him for 3 minutes after he had no more pulse. And the medical examiner's like, nope, not the cop's fault. So that's what, and by the way, the lawyer who got the killer of Philip Castile off is the guy who's lawyering up for this guy too. So you don't think he's going to take this and put it in front of a jury and say the medical examiner says he didn't kill him?
So Jimmy Dore makes an excellent point that it's a cover-up, the cover for the police. They're not going to say that the cop choked him and he died and that's the reason he died. They're going to say he was too fat. All right. So we understand that, right? So let's move past that now. Let's go past it, right? That it's likely not about a fucking guy who got choked. It was just the tipping point. I use the phrase a lot. I say the tipping point. Malcolm Gladwell's book, The Tipping Point, is when you can almost look at a better analogy, a more understandable and quicker analogy is boiling water. At some point, the water just goes and it boils, right? It's hot. It shows some signs of steaming, and then all of a sudden it just right? It's bubbling up and or you can push something, you could tilt something so far, right? And it's not going to fall. And then it hits a tipping point, and then it goes. That's where we're at right now. I believe what we're seeing is That's more of the message, rather than trying to go down the rabbit hole of trying to look at the obvious systemic corruption that is government today. Right? Rather than going down, we already know that. What more proof do you need that the government is fucking, fucking with people, right? You don't need much more proof of that. But what Jimmy Dore did is, I love it. I love what he's doing. Good morning, everybody in the chat. If I'm not paying attention to you, I got a lot. I'm trying to get through all this stuff. Good morning, Sterling Price in the house. Weevil Boy is here. Jason Walsh, Pat Hacker. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mike? Chris Mike. So let's keep moving. So George Floyd and Derek Chauvin once worked overlapping security shifts. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Right? This is not the story. Please, this is not the fucking story. Whether George Floyd and Derek Chauvin, the now fired Minneapolis cop caught on viral footage pinning his knee on Floyd's neck, once worked overlapping security shifts at a club in the city, according to local. Who fucking cares? Who cares, right? The guy was in the wrong place at the wrong time, whether he was a plant, whether who cares? It doesn't matter. The reality is that millions of young people had enough, and they're crashing fucking windows. And you guys better, you older 70-year-olds better figure this shit out before these motherfuckers burn the place to the ground. Right? The saying comes to mind. This is what the saying comes to mind. It's if you don't initiate young people into the village, they will burn it down to feel its warmth. Right? If you don't let the young people in, they will burn the motherfucker down. Just to get a little warm, and that's exactly what you're seeing. Cabiche? Comprende? Understand? That's what's going on. That's an organic movement. You can call me whatever you want. Fuck you, leftist this, and fucking, and your mama that. I don't care. Whatever. That's what this reporter is seeing on the ground. And is it a good thing? I don't know. We're not there yet. So let's continue. De Blasio's daughter got fucked.
More. We begin with breaking news tonight. Mayor de Blasio's daughter arrested during police protests in Manhattan. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez is live on the west side with why she was taken into custody. Hazel.
Yeah, Jessica, police have confirmed Chiara de Blasio was arrested near Union Square around 10:30 last night. She was released from police custody this morning, and so far her father, Mayor de Blasio, has not commented about her arrest. Now, according to the police report, the 25-year-old, along with about 100 other people, was protesting on 12th Street and Broadway. Police say... I
want to make a comment on, I just want to address something. They can say, Rhonda Church says, and I appreciate your comment, they can say what they want. They aren't allowed to burn other people's shit down. That's a good comment. That's a great point. But how much of their shit has been burned down? Their whole lives. Put yourself in the position. You've got these rich corporate cocksuckers with all this merchandise loaded up inside these stores. And you could argue that, oh, well, that's just the system. The system is winners and losers. And we win and you lose. And that's fair enough. But at some point, there's a click that goes off. A switch goes off in young people's minds and that says, we will never have anything because we have been locked out of the village. We have been systematically removed from the possibility. All we have is slavery. All we have is corporate slavery. Go work a shit job for minimum wage. Maybe you try to go to college and work a minimum job, have no life, no travel, no leisure time, still can't pay rent, living with 3 roommates. You see the point? So their shit has already been stolen. So for them to crash a brick through the window, where the bricks seem to have been placed there to do that, and take back some from the ruling class, is really, who stole more from who? Did the corporation steal the future of American youth, or did Apple lose an iPhone, or did Bloomingdale's lose a couple of shirts that they got insurance to cover it? Who lost more? Who's losing more when we smash your window and Apple immediately, out of nowhere, a truck comes and puts in 5 new windows from out of nowhere, or they board the whole place up. Right? Who's really losing is my point. So anyway, this is or the poverty draft. Oh, that's okay. Go to the Army, and then we'll give you a college tuition if you don't get a bullet in your ass. All right, the poverty draft. Keep people poor and mobilize them. You want a life? Join the Army. You'll learn some discipline. We'll teach you how to kill, motherfucker. You want to be violent? You want to be crazy? We're going to put you in the fucking Army. Right, they round them up. They're tired of it. That's what I'm telling you.
Mayor de Blasio was not throwing any objects at police, but she was seen screaming and yelling.
All right, so the mayor of New York's daughter, the lovely whatever her name is, her mother's black, de Blasio's white, the kids are mixed. All right, so they have this affinity, an affinity for the blacks. All right, but they're black and white, so which is kind of interesting. But the mayor's daughter, she wasn't accused of looting or anything. She was just accused of unlawful assembly. That's nothing. That's a civil. That's bullshit. So she'll and her father, if you haven't noticed, is the mayor. So there'll be no consequence there. So let's go. So here's where it's going to start to get ugly, right? Here's where it's going to start to get ugly. So this is New York City. And this is Atlantic Avenue where I was the other day. This went up 2 days ago. So I only saw the aftermath of this. I didn't see the actual rally. Like I said, I don't go near this shit. Right? So there's a lot of water throwing. There's a lot of young people. Social distancing is out the window. Women get sprayed with mace. I would suspect at this point the masks are just to hide their own faces, which is smart. Lots of fire. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice. You see, there's a lot of mixed messaging in there. It's not just Black Lives Matter. It's not just Black Lives Matter. There's a lot of mixed messaging. So it's chaos on the street. I know that spot. That's where I did where they had the press conference 2 days ago. It's still tackling people. Police are not changing their routine. They're still tackling people. Fireworks going off. Using the buses to cart people away. There's a white person. 2 white people, not just black. Yeah, they need. I agree with that one, Vanderloo, that they should now be. The protesters should be wearing the goggles now because they're going to start to spray. You're right. Let's watch more.
Stormed into lower Manhattan last night. They destroyed store windows in Soho and lit fires during another night of violent protests. Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan spoke. I
just want to go through these clips to show you so we could see together and we have it on the record of the actual footage. There's footage all over the place, right? There's no need to go down there and get more footage of the shit. There's cameras right on the scene.
Business owners cleaning up the mess.
What started as mostly peaceful protests, NYPD saying when night fell, the destruction began. Cameras capturing looters inside this Urban Outfitters at 14th and 6th, moments after the windows were shattered.
That's our right to protest. It don't go right. This is what you got to do. We got to stand united.
Yeah, I'm disturbed by both sides of it.
Honestly, I think the looting is completely justified. These people have been looted from by this country their entire lives.
The damage was widespread throughout multiple neighborhoods.
See, there's a lot of ignorance, and you got to let it slide that these people have been held down for their entire lives. Right? That's the black sympathy line. Right? It's off. It's irrelevant in the bigger picture, and I think it is. I think that the Black Lives Matter element of this protest is not is not the core of the problem, but to some people it is. And guess what? So what? They're leading the fucker. I sat down and I listened to those kids in Union Square Park, and I listened to what they said. And I could tell you that this is an extension of Occupy Wall Street. They're not done yet. Right? There's a lot of smart people running, in front of the thing, is what I'm trying to say.
It's Apple stores, this Verizon store, and clothing stores, not with just their windows shattered, but the contents inside taken. In the daylight, the graffiti could be seen up and down the street. In some cases, the name George Floyd. In other cases, angry messages directed at police. A night of unrest, leaving those tasked
It's all the same graffiti.
with cleaning up to tackle the mess. In Soho,
those skateboards are weapons, by the way. They've weaponized that shit. They fucking swing those skateboards at shit. It's crazy.
Face is one of many businesses now boarded up. The trail of damage drawing employees into stores who likely hadn't been there in months, as many who live in these neighborhoods take the cleanup into their own hands.
But I don't understand how this equals justice for all the horrible things. Do you?
No justice, no peace.
If people aren't going to listen when it's peaceful, then maybe they'll listen when something like this happens,
Bingo. He wins the prize. Listen again.
When it's peaceful, then
No justice, no peace.
if people aren't going to listen when it's peaceful, then maybe they'll listen when something like this happens.
People don't listen when it's peaceful. Maybe they'll listen when something like this happens. You bet your ass they're listening. Good point. So, I'll show you some of my shots, right? So this pisses me off, right? This irritates me, right? So I'm in Washington Square Park, and when the swarm came in, they spray painted on a 150-year-old stone monument. That bothers me. It's like, what did the fuck? Why the fucking monument? Why do you gotta go after the corporations? Target the right people, you idiots. There's nothing George Washington Monument did to you. Right? Target the right people. Don't steal a reporter's bicycle while he's standing there filming. No masters. It's the same imagery. Stolen lands, fuck the police, fuck cops. Spray painted on the side of the stone. Right? So now, I showed you a clip yesterday where they were removing some of the paint from the benches. And those are marble. And I talked to the guy. I actually talked to the guy who was doing the removal, and he said that it's a different process to get the paint off of the monuments. That's a separate organization within parks that does that. And they were off on Sunday. So today, they're going to get out there and do that. But the longer the paint sits on the stone like that, the harder it is to get out, because it starts to seep in, And spray paint doesn't really dry for 24 or 48 hours completely. It doesn't completely cure for about 48 hours. So the longer they wait, the harder it is for that shit to get off. And I asked the guy, I said, do you think they'll be able to get that off of the stone? He said, yeah, they'll get it. They'll get it off. And he agreed that the longer they wait, the harder it will be to get off. But nonetheless, this is what we're up against. The parks and city, and they're doing their best to knock the graffiti out. This is the Apple store on Prince Street, totally boarded up. All right? It wasn't boarded up 2 days ago. All right, now the Apple store, Station A, totally boarded up. Here's some of the signage that I saw laying around on the street. We support our comrades in Minneapolis. Ooh, comrades, they use the C word. They must be socialists. Comrades in arms. Uh-oh. The Trump people are that's a trigger for you. Ooh, he said comrade. See, they're comrades. They're socialists. They want socialism. They want free stuff. All right, get off of it. Get off of it. Be sympathetic to what's going on. Open your fucking mind for just a second. All right, so cops equal killer. Cops equal killer, right? Well, the cops did kill somebody allegedly, right? This is the one right here. This is the one that it really got me. It's just laying on the floor right by where the ruckus was in the next morning down by where I showed you all the broken windows, down by the Whole Foods on Bowery and Houston, New York City. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible make violent revolution inevitable. See, that's what it's all about. Are you getting it now? It's going to turn violent. It already has turned violent, and they're not letting up. They're not letting up. They're going to be very persistent in what they're doing. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, okay. Cops not above the law. Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. I believe you. So those are some of the imagery. I love this shot right here. And what else can I show you? That really bothers me. Of all the shots, this bothers me. Why do you have to spray paint on the side of? That triggers me, right? As a New Yorker, that shows no respect. I think you should respect, but then again, they haven't been respected at all. So what the fuck do they care? When you corner people and they have nothing to lose, this is what happens. When you have a system that excludes people and tells you stay at home and starve to death, this is what happens. This is what happens, right? What do? They can't buy clothes, so they go out and they fucking steal them. They can't buy food, so they go out and they steal it. Right? And you're going to see some interesting behavior where the looters actually were very sympathetic to each other, where they would go into the store and take a bunch of stuff and throw it out. You're actually seeing generosity among the thieves, honor amongst thieves. All right? So let's look at more. What's this? George Floyd protests and more protests. Sorry about that. So where are we here? Yeah, so this is Brooklyn. The cops are getting pummeled right now. It's chaos. Now tackling them. Same tactics. Oops, I'm sorry about that. Fucked up. Sorry about that. I don't want to see this. Same tactics, same choking the guy on the floor. You can say that, Dylan, that it's social engineered kids in the chat. I would disagree. I think it's social molding, and you call it what you want. I don't like that term. I think that's a conspiracy theorist term, social engineered kids. Like someone sat down and socially engineered them and decided that this is what they'll behave, how they'll behave. I don't think so. This was not predictable. It is predictable if you don't have your head up your own ass, then it is predictable. I said eventually it would pop. Eventually the economy would crash and then you would lead to revolution. That's what had to happen. You have to once the economies crash, this is the result of it because there is no safety net. It's capitalist scum, right? It's a corporatist monopoly that is causing the fucking problem. DeKalb in Portland again, downtown Brooklyn. They apparently set a police car on fire.
We wanted to come today and have a vigil.
I don't want to listen to this guy because he's an idiot. Let's see if there's any more.
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd!
You need 10 guys to take down one guy. Right there. You see that? You see how the looter... There's something that you don't hit. You got to look for the details, right? You got to look for the details. It almost chokes me up. They're showing generosity, right? When they're looting, but they're not looting just for themselves. Watch what happens. Watch the generosity. Watch this. Right there. The kid comes out the store, he takes what he needs, and he gives the rest away to his friends. Look at that. Generosity. There you go. Opening the door, holding the door open for people. Everybody needs a watch. It's a really good footage. I mean, it's really a lot of cameras rolling. Whoever caught this. It's a Daily News, New York paper. Times Square.
Do it. Come on, be brave. Do it. You want to do it. That guy wants to do it. Come on.
You want to say this is still orchestrated at this point? Does anybody want to say that this is George Soros' money and all that bullshit? This is an organic uprising of people that are just pissed off. Right? For a variety, a garden variety of reasons. They're black, they're white, they're poor, they're young, they're this, they're old, they're that, whatever the fuck. It's whether they know it or not, whether they know the bigger picture, that they're being squeezed from the top down, whether they know how Monopoly works. People in this chat don't know how fucking Monopoly works, and you watch my show every day, and you come here to try to say that I'm wrong. So even you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You think these kids really know the essence of how banking works and how 19 donuts go into the bankers' pockets and they throw one out into the field and let everybody fight for it? Right? They get trillions of dollars in tax breaks, trillions of dollars in handouts, and people can't buy sneakers and they can't buy food. Do you think that they really understand the gist of how that works? No, because people listening to what I'm saying on a daily basis don't understand how it works. But that is how it works. That is the essence of what's going on, whether you believe it or not.
I'll do it with you. You want to do it? All right, yeah, we're doing it.
So the police showing a moment of humanity. What else we got here? Philadelphia going off
State of the city and what's being done to restore order. Joe?
Yuki, good evening. You talk about a curfew right now. You wouldn't even know it. That is the story from the streets. And
so just a little clip. If you thought New York was bad, here's Philadelphia.
according to police sources, the rank and file across the city, they were woefully unprepared for the continuous waves of violence. Take a look at the State Store behind me. This is the scene where police have been left to zigzag from businesses that were already looted. The vandals come back over and over, I'm told. So units have to babysit them. This liquor store on North Broad has been hit 4 times. Add to that, there is no telling when the National Guard will arrive. We haven't been able to get solid answers on that from Philadelphia police officials. Day 2 of violence, chaos, and disorder on Philadelphia streets, taxing the city's police force. High-ranking department sources tell CBS 3 in Kensington and North Philadelphia, looters overpowered law enforcement's ability to respond. The city, in a Sunday evening news conference, confirmed.
I could tell you that what I saw with the New York Police Department, there are thousands of police roaming around the street. I have other footage of that, where when this parade of people went into action, cops came out of nowhere. I mean, there were paddy wagons and motorcycle cops and riot cops, and from out of nowhere, I don't even know where they were hiding. But so there's a lot of cops in New York. There's plenty of police.
Confirmed officers were out.
It's just that the rioters are splitting up, and they're not predictable. They don't stay in one place. They're very smart. They learned how to acclimate. Like in Occupy Wall Street, they got kicked out of the park, they got cornered, and they got tossed. Now they're a roaming pack. Very hard to corner, and then they disperse. So all of a sudden you got thousands of potential looters all over the city. The police can't contain it. They can't use their might they can't use their concentrated might. So what it tells you is that they're very smart. They're very sophisticated in their moves. That's what I'm trying to say.
Numbered.
Our officers are going to take in mind their own personal safety in order to respond to these issues. Obviously, they put their lives on the line every day, but they're going to do it in a smart way. I'm
going to play the brick thing. I saw that. I'm going to play that. I got that clip.
By no means was enforcement lax last night. It was really a matter of manpower.
More looting into the night despite an imposed 6 p.m. curfew. Police eventually got the upper hand along business corridors near Temple Hospital.
So moral of the story, Philadelphia got hit pretty hard too.
Avenue storefronts were largely defenseless against earlier mobs of people.
We couldn't take every officer out of every district in the city and send them to a store that's being looted without losing the district of the neighborhood. So it's a Hobson's choice.
The National Guard is now expected as Philadelphia is in critical condition. The number of officers injured is on the rise.
There you go, National Guard coming in. So Philly on the rise too. So here's the infamous. Where did these bricks come from? It's a setup. Mysterious brick piles appear throughout major protest cities. Let's see
this right here.
Yeah, they put them there.
This the setup.
They put them there on purpose,
Y'all know where we at.
They gonna set them on right up on the route.
Y'all know what building this is right here. I ain't even gonna say what name it is.
So what he's trying to say is that they put a pile of bricks in front of a building that was a potential target.
Where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks go to? Where do them bricks go to?
We gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction.
Gotta do better.
Ain't no damn construction around here.
I see.
Ain't no damn construction around here. You just gonna set a pile of bricks right there. Oh, okay.
Listen, I did jury duty 3 months ago.
So if you think that all these kids are being led to slaughter by people systematically putting bricks out, you could be right. You could be right, but what does that change about the things that I just talked about for the last hour, that people are pissed off? Are they being used as pawns? They're going to be throwaways, and when how do you stop the rising of the core of America's youth? How do you stop the rising up of 70 or 80 million young people that are demanding their rights, demanding to be heard? How do you do that? Okay, yeah, maybe the bricks were plants. Let's see. Maybe more. Let's see. There's another pile full of bricks.
They got them bricks, bro. They are protesting. Shit crazy. Some random ass bricks, bro. Ain't no construction. Ain't no construction, bro. Just some random ass bricks sitting here.
So, some bricks. What else we got here? Let's watch this one. Yo, we got bricks. More bricks. You see, the problem is that is that again, for the police, the problem is that the looters are so spread out that they're very systematic. They're together, and then they rile up the crowd, and then they disperse. So it's very hard to stop. Is what I'm trying to say. Here's another shot of this bricks. I don't know what to make of it really. There seems to be bricks being systematically placed around for people to use to break things.
Go get everything you can find. Go get everything you can find. These are the boys right here. This is the team. There's more stuff that we can put out here. Hey, there's 3 picnic tables up here. There's a couple picnic tables up here. Let's go out.
So here's the allegation that Antifa is a virtually all-white terror organization of cowards who pay minorities to commit their terrorism for them. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Maybe there is an organization that would like to, that's called recruiting. That's called recruiting people into a terrorist organization. That's recruitment. That's what corporations do. That's what the military does, right? So, okay, what's your point? I don't know what this is.
Looks like, yeah. So as you can see, the auto goes.
More looting video.
And smash the windows. I'm gonna fight you right now. You wanna go? What's up? Somebody hold my blunt. Hey, somebody hold my blunt. I'm gonna keep it. Hey.
See, that's my fear right there. When people are recording, they're very aggressive. They seem to be very aggressive. You want to see my? I'll show you my bike video. This is let's digress for a second. Hold on a second. Stand by for 1 second. I fucked up. How do I get this? Oh, there it is. So there I am, right? I'm watching the rally go by, right? This is Conte's. Watch this kid right here. You see these 2 guys right here? See these 2 guys right here? All right, so I'm on the street and I'm watching the rally and I'm filming, right? And I got my city bike right behind me, right? So I got my back to the bike. The bike is right behind me, right? And these 2 clowns come walking by, right? Watch what happens. Watch him go behind me. He goes behind me. While I'm filming, his buddy passes. There he goes. He's looking at me, right? And then I notice he's stealing my bike behind me. Watch.
That's my bike, man. That's my bike. That's my bike.
Now, I didn't get a good shot of it because I didn't throw the camera in his face. I just was like, yo, that's my bike.
That's my bike, man.
And there he goes, right? Because I was trying to hold the bike while I had the camera in my hand, I was pulling the bike out of his hand. All right, so the motherfucker tried to steal my bike, right? That's very unusual in New York. That's very unusual that someone would come up. That's right up there with purse snatching. You snatch someone's city bike, and there he goes, right? The camera's on the side.
I just tried to rob my bike.
Guy just tried to rob my bike, right? So that's why I'm a little cautious of throwing myself out there like that. So what's up, man? Hold on a second, I gotta check some shit. All right, we're doing good. Doing good. No buffering. Everybody's happy. You guys probably hate what I'm saying today, but this is what I see, man. I gotta tell you what I'm saying. What's this? So Manhattan. Did we watch this already? I don't know which ones we watched already. I don't think we watched this one. Did we watch this one? There's a whole lot of looting going on. Those skateboards are weapons. This guy trying to smash the window in with a... You should start looking for people with their arms cut, because when you stick your arm through a glass window, I would say 25, 30, 40% of the time you're going to get cut if you don't know what you're doing. So start looking for people with slices on their arms. You're going to see blood samples all over the glass. You get cut up when you do something like that. It's especially in the nighttime and you don't know what you're doing. And they're wearing short sleeves. They're reaching through glass windows. Glass is falling. All right. There's a lot of destruction going on, that's for sure. And right there, you see the use of the skateboard? The skateboard, they're using the skateboard to bash their fucking security cameras. Guy's got a shovel. That's a big motherfucker right there. That's the TD Bank. That's where I saw it. So I was there yesterday, and I saw the cleanup of this. It's too bad they don't keep the money in the window. So anyway, there you go. So what else we got here? So NYPD cop deliberately drives into crowd. Oh yeah, you remember this? Watch this. Warning. So apparently it speaks for itself. There's a NYPD cruiser, and there's people obviously throwing shit at the cop car. They're blockading. And at that point, where does the cop really need to go? They don't need to get by. So what does the cop do? He's running people over. Literally, bang, right there. Holy shit. You're just gonna kill people. You know what I mean? What happens if somebody falls down? They get run over. So they knock them over like bowling pins. This shit is crazy. Here's another angle. And you're supposed to yield to the people, you idiot cops, you dummies. Now this is an infamous clip of police brutality. They'll run you over. Absolutely no reason for that. Absolutely no fucking reason whatsoever for that. Poorly trained cops. They have nothing to worry about. They're in a bulletproof car. I'm looking at the comments. They're complicit, says Raymond. They're complicit in whatever happens to them if they don't move. I don't know. I think again that's a militant opinion. If you don't get out of our way, I'm a citizen of this country, but if you don't get out of my way, my authoritarian way, I'm going to run you the fuck over. I don't know. I disagree. Let's watch more. So I don't know where this is. Arrest. Oh, this is Las Vegas. Las Vegas, no sound. So in Las Vegas, they're pissed off too. Everybody's, all of a sudden, they're all pissed off at the same time. Maybe they got the same load of bricks dropped off. It's the bricks. So they're squirting the mace. You see them with the pepper sprays. They're swinging their sticks. This shit is getting violent, man. There's no doubt about it. Over what? Is it police brutality? Oh, bang. That was a fucking two-pointer, man. Hit the cop in the head with a fucking bottle of water. Hey, you want to be a cop, right? Hey, cops. Oh, you get to carry a gun in the city? Wow. You fucking... And now what happens? Now you're a bunch of cowards. Now you got to choke people and kill them. So this is going to escalate. This is going to be like France. They're going to have the next is going to be the tear gas, dispersing crowds, the rubber bullets, the whole deal. But these kids are one step ahead. As I said, they're one step ahead because they're roam. They keep moving like a swarm of bees. That's their strategy, and it works. It works. Very organized. Very don't stay in one place too long. Keep moving. So that's Las Vegas over there. What else we got here? So America wakes up after a night of chaos and destruction. 170 rioters arrested in 3 days. So there's the numbers. 1,700. What did I say? 170? 1,700 people across 22 cities in 3 days. That's not including what happened last night. National Guard activated in 12 states. So we're going to see the National Guard on the street. Great. Police make nearly 1,400 arrests. So there's the imagery, right? There it is. White cops, black man. Right, that's the image you guys wanted, New York Post. Good job. You did it. You did it. There he is. There's the Black Live. Choke the guy, right? What are you going to do? Choke him on national television? Choke him on the front page of the Post? Philadelphia. Police restrain a man during the justice for George Floyd. Have we even mentioned George Floyd anymore? Do we even need to talk about this guy anymore? Because it's already morphing into something else. Los Angeles. Police have arrested nearly 1,400 people in 17 U.S. cities. So lots of people getting arrested. And here's Joe Biden to the rescue. Joe Biden to the rescue to throw gasoline on the fire. We'll talk about Trump in 1 second. I think I got a clip of Trump. Trump saying Antifa is a terrorist organization. Lock them up. All right. Good leadership, you idiot. All right. Biden staffers, they're both wrong. Biden staffers donate to bail fund for Minnesota protesters. Ugh. What a dummy. So now you're condoning. You're saying, I'm with you, protesters. Smash windows and break things. As a politician, you're not supposed to do that, you dummy. Now you're basically co-signing. Not only that, you're actually offering money to bail out people that do the damage. Wrong fucking approach. Right? They're trying. That's co-op. That's trying to co-op a movement. Like, we're with you. Right? Now that it's out of control. Now that before it was everybody stay at home and be safe. Now it's like, we'll fund you. Right? Think about what Biden just said. Campaign staffers for presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden have donated to a group in Minnesota that is paying the bail for people arrested during the protests over the death of George Floyd by a white police officer, according to a report. At least 13 members of Vice President's campaign made donations to Minnesota Freedom Fund, which opposes cash bail to avoid being jailed before trial. So is that a good idea? Is Joe Biden is not going to be the president of the United States. Joe Biden is senile. Joe Biden is a corporate tool. So I don't know. So you got to also follow the money, right? So people like Jeff Bezos are loving this. They're loving to watch retail burn. Remember, decentralization of the economy. Once the economy is decentralized, the leaders there'll be different leaders. There'll be the delivery companies, the Amazons of the world, the people that own warehouses, that own delivery equipment, that own drones, the things that develop fast and easy websites to buy shit online. Those are going to be the winners in this fight. So those, essentially they beat out retail, right? It's a decentralization of the economy is what happened. The whole thing collapsed. A transfer of wealth, a consolidation of wealth at the top, removing small to mid-sized businesses completely, just eviscerating them, right? Retail is gone. The state of New York right now it's not going to come back. This is the Warriors in the middle of the night. People looting the fucking empty city. Right? Think about what's going on, right? And Joe Biden is like, yeah, sure, we'll bail them out for free. And here's Trump on the other side of the idiot spectrum. Trump says he will designate Antifa as a terrorist organization. why don't you try to listen to what the fuck they're saying? Why don't you negotiate? Why don't you make a fucking deal, right? Mr. Deal, why don't you make a deal with them? Why don't you talk to them rather than labeling them terrorist organizations and then going after them like they're terrorists? They're American fucking citizens, you idiot. You goddamn idiot. They're Americans. They're young Americans who feel like they've been fucked by people like you, your billionaire friends. You fuck them. You give corporate tax breaks to the corporations, and the kids get fucked. Right? Why don't you look at it that way? Why don't you just, for 1 second, try to put yourself in their position, and not the position of not being a spoiled brat with a billionaire father from Queens who gave him $200 million to get started. Right? Why don't you take your fucking head out of your ass and look at the kid that has nothing, that has to break a window to get a pair of sneakers? You idiot. Fucking terrorists. Okay. Trump taken to private bunker during Friday protests outside of White House. You fucking coward. 3 days ago, I said Trump was a genius with the censorship, and he was. He did a good thing, but you got to call him out when he's being a dickhead, right? Trump is a dick right now. Trump is unsympathetic. So, Secret Service agents rushed Donald Trump to the White House bunker on Friday night as hundreds of protesters gathered outside the executive mansion, some of them throwing rocks and tugging at police barricades. See, that's a good thing, man. See, that's when you could make authority shake in their boots and run to their bunker, to their secret little safe place. You are fucking powerful. You have influence. Think about that. They forced the president of the United States underground by just having their presence outside of D.C. That is a powerful movement. That is a powerful people-propelled movement. So I guess I'm officially on the record of supporting the protesters. At this point, I think it's I don't know. I mean, I have my limitations. When you start destroying public property, that bothers me. It bothers me. When you start spray painting on monuments, that bothers me. When you smash the windows of a bank that stole trillions of dollars from the American people, that doesn't bother me one bit. When you crash Apple, who made $35 billion and didn't pay any taxes, when you crash their windows in, it doesn't bother me a bit. I don't flinch. I'm like, fucking, it's not a big deal to them. It's crumbs. But when so I have a sweet spot for or when you try to rip off the bike of a guy watching your stupid rally, watching your rally and trying to spread the word about your stupid rally and try to steal his bike, you fucking morons. So I'm not completely with them. What's this? Open up, motherfucker. There's a dead page. I don't know what was on it. Oh, here it is. Looters destroy several New York stores following George Floyd. I think this is just more footage. Protests in New York City over more footage. So getting away in the getaway car. So here they are, and this is again Soho, Chanel, in Soho. They're using a getaway car, a white expensive car. Crashing, stealing. All right, what's going on here? So more looting, a lot of looting. Caught on camera. So there's your justification. Oh, see, they're from out of town. They have cars. Okay. All right. There's a lot of out of town. First of all, New York City's full of, there's people that live in Manhattan, and then there's what's called a bridge and tunnel crowd. People that live in the suburbs. They have to go through a bridge or a tunnel to get there. And mind you that the subways are closed between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. in New York City right now. They're closed for 4 solid hours for theoretical cleaning. So the only way to really get into the city and out of the city at those hours is through your own vehicle, right? You got to cross over a bridge. And I'm sure that those are being heavily monitored. Every bridge that leads into Manhattan is being heavily monitored. If you did something on a security camera, you're not going to get off the island of Manhattan without being detected. So stores, so there was more footage there. I just wanted to throw this out too. It's on a side note. How to legally decline a vaccine. Let's just talk about the vaccines for a second, because if they start poking people and demanding vaccines, although that discussion now has been tabled for the greater discussion of smashing corporations, storefronts and destroying and stealing from them. But nonetheless, how to legally decline a vaccine. This is pretty good. Do not refuse a vaccine, otherwise you will be considered belligerent. Instead, you can politely decline the service by doing the following. Number two, ask the doctor, does the vaccine have MRC-5 in it? They all do. These are aborted fetal cells and other DNA. If the vaccine contains MRC-5, you have a right to decline. It's good to know. So just write it down. Does it have MRC-5 in it? If they say yes, I understand. That's fetal cells. I can't take that. Also ask, is there a possibility of a latrogenic reaction? A latrogenic reaction. Is there a possibility of a latrogenic reaction? An adverse reaction caused by multiple compounds or drugs interacting with each other from the vaccine. They all have them. They all have them. When the doctor says, yes, it does, that is your get out of vaccine free card. Thank the doctor for their offer and walk away. See, I didn't refuse the vaccine. I refused what's in the vaccine. I can't take that. You got to get me one without that stuff. But you can't. So just a good side note, right? So what else we got here? So NYC protest leader. Oh, this is my video. All right, I wanted to talk about this, right? So
We're on to Washington, D.C.
Let's listen now. Now that I've laid the groundwork, the foundation. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me just check something. Make sure we're doing good. All right, we're still here. All right. So I want to talk about my footage, what I observed. I want you to listen to this kid. This kid and the other young guys right over here led the protest out of Union Square Park. They were trailed by a couple of hundred people and 1,000 cops. Right? It's powerful. So this kid is one of the leaders. I was going to try to interview him, but I couldn't get near him without. They're a little hard to approach at this point because they're in control.
We're on to Washington, D.C. has meant something. It has inspired entire generations of young people. It has inspired people across class and across race. And
it's inspired people along class, along race. Listen to what he's saying. Sometimes you got to shut your hole and listen to what they're saying. That's how you learn. You listen to what they're saying. Right? This is more important than watching heads get beat. This is where the answer is. This is where I've come to my conclusions that this is what's going on. By listening to the people, listening to what they're saying. What is the driving force behind what they're doing?
I want everyone to know, do not give up. Do not yield. When I was in Zuccotti Park, that's all the NYPD relied on, was you yielding.
So when he was in Zuccotti Park, Occupy Wall Street, they were the only way that the only thing that held them back was that the police wanted you to yield, is what he said.
Do not forget what you fight for, who you fight for, and what you hold dear. Because at the end of the day, that is what we fight to defend. Now, I don't know any of you, except maybe one. But despite that, that should not get in the way of...
You see how they're coming together? They don't really know each other. They're coming together for a common cause. Right? It's they're coming. It's a swarm of bees coming together. It's an organic movement. There's your evidence.
Us securing our liberation and our freedom from police brutality.
See, this kid's smart. He's talking about freedom from police brutality, but he's also talking about the Occupy movement, which was directed directly at the large banks. the corporate tyranny. Right? This kid knows what he's talking about, and he's one of the leaders of the movement.
Lastly, I want to thank all of you for being here.
Now, some other lady talks, and I don't really want to hear her mouth, but this is an amazing exchange between these guys. Listen to this.
Okay.
So here you are in the park, right? And for the first time, people are actually talking to each other. They're communicating to each other. Listen to the discussion.
For self. At some point in time, and this is not to disregard anybody who's not black here, at some point in time, black people are going to have to establish themselves as an economic bloc in this country that leverages their dollars strategically.
So here's an old black guy telling a bunch of young blacks that blacks should unite and pool their money together. And these young blacks are saying, fuck you.
Hold up. Okay. You know what? Wait. Let me address this.
I agree what you're saying. I
want to give you some reality.
Let me remind you that it's the 99th anniversary of the Tulsa Massacre.
All right.
Okay?
We are fully aware. Thank you.
Tell me something new. What is Oprah? What does Oprah have to do?
Poor versus rich. We don't give a fuck about Oprah. Give a fuck about.
This is poor versus rich. Do you hear what he just said? This is poor versus rich. Who gives a fuck about Oprah?
About these people right here. I give a fuck about them. I give a fuck about y'all. I don't give a fuck about Oprah. Not trying to bitch. Yo, this is petty. This is economics. Are you American? I'm American. I'm American. It's about America. It's about America, bro. I can't do this. This is dangerous.
See, the thing when you watch this is you can't expect everybody to be on the same page. You can't. They're coming together with different problems, different issues. That's why I say it's organic. They're coming together, and they've been so gaslit in the country to think that it's a black issue, it's a white issue, it's Oprah. It's the essence of it is a financial. It's not black versus white. It's green money versus no green money. That's the real issue. Right?
This is dangerous, bro. We're all Americans. This is all American.
Is it dangerous because I'm speaking the truth or for something other than
racial divide? You're creating racial divide.
Is this system going to change? Show me how close it
See what he thinks of college. That's Christ's sake. We got to become the police of our community.
However, let me tell you something. I'm tired of having people posturing and educating us.
Yeah, that's
we
right.
We feel our power when we pick up each other's flags and we pick up unity.
How are you exercising your power?
Let's move
right here.
That's what everybody
That's how I see it.
There's no reason why in the
You just lectured us about Tulsa. You're the last person to say who should be waving a finger at someone. No, that's fucking bullshit. Because all you people have been, ever since you've been here, is just suggesting division and shit that gets past what we're trying to do.
So what you gonna do? What you say is
about us people. Some bullshit. Literally, you're telling me I can trust black capitalists to liberate us when they sell us out to the fucking power structure. Like, shut the fuck up.
No, Dad, you can't be tight right now.
You can't. You are dead.
I jump in the middle in a minute, and I talk about the ruling class, and they kind of only this kid really understood what I was talking about. The rest of them got very defensive, but I jump in a second.
Guys.
Can't be divided, people.
Brothers and sisters of America, can I have your attention, please? Can I have your attention, please?
Yes, sir.
Can I have your attention, please?
Yes, sir.
This is how politics used to work, by the way. Even in Sparta and in the Greeks would come out into the city centers and they would discuss issues. And that's where we're coming back to. Online discourse is so corrupt and so fucked up. but you're seeing people return to the centers of the city to discuss. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. I've seen rallies and people screaming and yelling, but this is open discourse right out in the park, which is very unusual. It's just it's something different that we're seeing.
Thank you very much. Now, one thing for sure, we as black people, and I'm pointing out all black people, for us black people, we cannot move on and fix anything, and we cannot forgive what happened to us. I'm not saying to forget the things that happened to us, but we cannot move on and make anything better if we cannot forgive the things that happened for us.
Wow. So there's a young black guy telling the old black guy that we can't forget what the atrocities done to us, and it certainly has in the United States in the past. Right? We can't forget, but we can forgive and we can move on. And without that, you can't move forward. That's what the kid is saying. The kid is totally awake.
Right. This lady, together. That too. This lady, she was only bringing up, what was that person's name? Gandhi. She was only bringing up Gandhi's name to make a point. She was trying to make a point. And here you go, people getting into the past and into our feelings. That's not what we're here for. We're trying to move on and make a better future. We're trying to build a better future. We cannot build a future and we're stuck in the past. We cannot move forward and we're stuck in the past. We need to move forward. We need to move forward. That's what we need to do, is move forward. I'm not saying to forget, but forgive. We need to forgive. I'm not saying to forget, but we need to forgive. This white cop just came over here. How many times did you call him? It took 3 times, but he came. He came. All right?
That was the cop that did the little talk. If you go back into my videos, you'll see the cop said, "We support your peaceful protest." Yeah, right.
Still kills us. That's him putting whatever us black people did or whatever, however they see us behind them. He put whatever. Let me finish. He put whatever he thought, whatever they thought about us just now, they put that behind us. And they came over here. And what do they say? They support us all the way.
What about the billionaire class?
At this very moment, that's all we need to know.
What about the billionaire class?
That's what matters.
What about the billionaires taking everything from everybody? What about the billionaire class? The kid said, "Eat the rich." I'm saying, what about the billionaire class? Kid saying, "Eat the rich." I love it. The bankers are laughing at you right now.
No matter what color.
The bankers are laughing right now.
Who's laughing at us?
The bankers. The bankers.
Let them laugh. Let them laugh.
You mean like Wells Fargo around the world?
Yeah.
And the Bank of America, where they don't even know what to do with their windows at this point?
Occupy. You said it.
Occupy.
You said it.
That covers the whole crowd something. This is obvious.
Right. So that one kid, they do get it. They do get it. The kid was like, "Eat the rich." And the kid who's educated in it knows what Occupy was. All you had to do was be there, and you would find out what it is. That there's a ruling class, that there's a billionaire class, that they bet against everything else, and it's all profit. Right? That kid understands it, right? And that is the issue. So even the younger black kid that says we have to let the past go, this whole racial thing, understands it to some degree. You see how nobody's ever in the same place at the same time. We all expect them to be brilliant brilliant orators and but no, that's not really how it works.
63 years old Thursday. Congratulations. All right, black people should be more understanding and more forgiving. Let me explain something to you about this life. How old you, I ask? Okay, you're 19. 3 times your age. I didn't see a lot of shit.
So this guy goes on and on about something. So that, I think, to me, that exchange right there is more valuable than watching young people out of context crash windows. You see where it's coming from? That's what you got to do. You got to sit down. You remember Marilyn Manson said. Marilyn Manson in the movie, in the Michael Moore movie, he said, Michael Moore asked Marilyn Manson, "What would you do? What would you say to those Columbine kids right? If you could sit them down and say something to them, the Columbine kids that shot up a bunch of, other kids, what would you say to them? And he said, I wouldn't say anything. I would listen to them. Right? That's the key, right? This is what you got to do. Sometimes you got to open your trap and blab your lips. And other times you got to listen to what they're saying, right? And there is confusion, but as the bees come together, it's going to get more and more interesting. So wow, Marcus Conte reporting. Wow, so that means I'm officially a commie, right? If you're still here and you're still watching, right? Shit got crazy, right? So I don't know. I mean, it's where am I? I think that we're at a place where we're seeing an organic kind of uprising. Shit is going to continue to get broken and looted, and well, could it run out of gas? Could it run out of steam? Is that the strategy to make it to make it less? To have less to take the momentum out of the movement, and that'll kill it. That'll officially kill the movement totally. Or is it a real movement? Is this something? Do we think that? I like to do a survey. Let's do a live survey for whoever's here, right? Who in the chat? Who's watching right now? There's 80, 90 people watching, right? You're still here? Who thinks that that the kids? The youth of America has the advantage here and is doing the right thing by rising up in any way they can? Or should they that's number one. Give me a one if that's your answer. And number two, they should sit home in their mother's basement and wait for further directions and starve to death and let their life flip by. Right? Should they go out into the community, engage it, and break a couple of windows from TD Ameritrade? Peaceful protests don't work anymore. Right? That's number one. Are they doing the right thing? Number one, or number two, they're going in the wrong direction, and they should yield to their masters. One or two, give it to me. Thank you very much. Number one. Number two. CV says number two. Marcus, the looting is also a strategy to bring down the economy for Soros. All right, still more conspiracy theories. What's number three? I didn't give you a number three, Pat Hacker. Number two. Okay, so it's mixed. Let them starve at home. Okay, that's your opinion. I disagree. I fundamentally disagree, man. They will be crushed, number one. They will be target banks, number one. Okay, number three. I didn't give you number three. 3, 4, 5, 6. Fuck you. A lot of number twos. Okay, so it's mixed opinion, right? Mixed opinion. All right, you're not there yet. You are not there yet, number twos. You still, that conspiracy theory. Oh, it feels good in your ass. Oh, you figured it out. The bricks were plants. The bricks were plants, and everybody's a plant from out of town somewhere. This could be, again, a little of that sprinkled in. That's just sprinkles. That's accelerant on the fire, but the fire is still going to rage, is what I'm saying, right? So there is no one. I don't think there is one strategy in this. I don't think it's one driving force. It's a compilation of a lot of driving forces, a lot of powerful entities coming together. Change is in the air. To lock down economies and you have the power grab, the decentralization versus the centralization with the bankers and the large corporations fighting it out. Now you have people in the street fighting it out, taking crumbs, because while the bankers are fighting it out, there's a lot of powerful shit going on right now, and that's just the way it's going to be. You know what I mean? It's just the way it's going to be for a while. I'm gonna play you another song, man. So what do I play in here? I'll play you. I don't want to play that. That's a good song, man. I'm playing my own shit, man. Playing my own stuff. Play some music. Huh. I wrote these songs a long time ago. You were young and wild and looking cool. So thanks everybody for sharing. Thanks everybody for joining me today. Thank you if you're still here. Chris, Mike, Jason Walsh, Quantum Epic. Even if we disagree, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I hope we agree to disagree. That's how I see the thing going. I see an organic rising of sorts, and I think it's one of those necessary evils. We'll see how it plays out as time goes on. I think it has very little to do with the race of one man who's choked, although that is a significant issue to people that don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? Police are on the side of the establishment. That's always the case. Right? The governor takes money from the corporations. The mayor takes money from the corporations. They control the police department, and they blow the whistle whose heads they're going to crack and when and how hard. So bankers have the advantage, right? The establishment always has the advantage, and these kids are playing a different game where they're trying to survive, and they're swerving around the obvious obstacles. So, Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you for joining me.
15 minutes of fame, empty hollow. Nothing to be gained from the prophesied.
And also, while you're here, become a Patreon of the channel. You could also make a one-time contribution to PayPal. Go to marcusconte.com. This is how we support the show.
We were no way back. Been crazy. Run the streets of this town and in his eyes. Well, said you were lazy. Should be walking, baby. When the new wave comes, you start to ride like it's not today. Stay on friends, dancing with myself.